All right, welcome to Gels on Sports. I'm Mike. Zach is over there getting stuff done on campus at OU. How's it going, Zach?
Uh, busy, busy man.
Busy
A lot of
man.
stuff.
That's right.
Yeah,
Kicking ass, taking names, taking care of business. That's what we do. All right.
yeah.
So anyway, last time out, we were coming back from Kansas City from USC fights. Had a nice trip there. Shout out to Joe's Kansas City Barbecue. Behind me, best barbecue in the world. Absolutely. That's not a crazy statement. That is true. If you've been there, you would know. Um, One thing before we go today, we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of the NFL quarterbacks who just got either traded or big deals, and we'll touch on the NFL draft that starts tomorrow. But shout out to Roosters here in Columbus, Ohio. Went there last night. Got my garlic sauce as I always do, and I got a bone to pick with Zach because he just won't try it.
You're a dweeb. He goes to a wing place and says, "I want garlic on my wings." I think that's very odd. But that's okay because in a free country, you can have whatever you want. But I'm more of a barbecue guy, just normal. Or
I keep,
teriyaki's pretty good.
you don't have to go and try the hottest thing on the menu, but I keep telling this guy that he needs to expand his horizons just a little bit.
No, I like what I like. I'm very particular. So I don't know, man.
All right.
I appreciate opposing viewpoints, but I think yours sucks in this case.
Let me tell you something, Zach. This guy right here has been a connoisseur of chicken wings since we had hot and mild, and that was it. And I'm telling you right now, after eating thousands of them, that the best sauce I've ever tried is garlic right here, freaking Roosters, and of all places, Columbus, Ohio.
Well, that's your truth, man. I'm happy for you.
It is my
Stoked.
it is my truth. It's mine.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'm glad you like it. I'm happy for you.
I don't like it. I love it.
Oh, I'm glad you love it. I just think it's kind of weird, but enjoy yourself.
It's not like I'm swimming in it or anything,
I hope not. That'd be even more weird.
or I'm not drinking shots of it, but I just like it.
All right, man. Let's talk about football.
Okay, let's push on. So anyway, coming up this week, actually tomorrow, we've got the first round of the NFL draft. And Zach and I are big Dallas Cowboys fans, and even though in his lifetime they have not reached the promised land and won that elusive Super Bowl again, in my lifetime they've won plenty. So it's interesting living out here where I do in Columbus, Ohio. There's a whole bunch of Cleveland Browns fans around here, and one of my best friends ever, TJ, lives up near Cleveland. Been a Browns fan forever, and one of the things that he's told me about just kind of it's crazy when you think about it, because while I never think too much of the draft myself, I want to see who Dallas picks and who the top picks are, and definitely where the Sooner guys go. But to a typical Cleveland Brown fan, this is like their Super Bowl. Their team usually sucks really bad, so they look forward to the draft, and that day everything's really good for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about the draft very much. But yeah, it's different for other people, I guess. I mean, if that's your only thing to look forward to, then that sucks. But um, I don't know. I kind of see it as, oh, this guy, happy for him. He made it to the whatever team he got drafted by, and it's not like a big to do though. I don't sit down and watch the draft or anything, you know. So,
Yeah.
but
Like tomorrow night, I'm sure I'll tune in and out of ESPN while they're showing it. And if nothing else, I'll look it up on the app to see who got picked next. But the thing is, I was reading about it last week, and of the guys that are picked in the first round of the draft, there's only like 35% of them that ever signed a second contract in the NFL. So it's more or less of a crapshoot. It's an educated crapshoot, and we'll talk about some of the particulars of that as we go along here. But just before we go any further, who do you have at the top, and why?
Like the very first pick,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it'll be a quarterback. Uh, who has is it? Who I don't even know who has the first pick. I haven't.
Carolina Panthers have number one.
Okay. Um, the Panthers are really stupid, so I wouldn't be surprised if they picked like the Ohio State fella Stroud. He's a baller in college, but we know Ohio State QBs they don't pan out very well in NFL. But I think it's either gonna be him or Bryce Young. I think the best pick is Bryce Young. That guy, they say he's short and stuff, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't because he can play. If you put it on tape, it doesn't matter that you have a 40-inch vertical jump and all this stupid stuff at the combine. It's about what you did on the field. So, and I think Stroud did great too in college, but I just don't think he'll pan out. But yeah, sorry, I kind of went off there. I think they'll get Stroud from Ohio State, first pick.
Yeah, it's interesting. Man, you see all this stuff, all this pre-draft stuff, the combine, the pro days at the schools. Can a guy play or can't a guy play? Um, Obviously, those two guys, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, they showed that they could play ball. Now, some of the cons about that, obviously, with Bryce Young, I mean, he's our height. Okay, you're a little bit taller than me, but he's my height. Is he a slightly better athlete and quarterback than me today at age 53? Probably so. That's okay. All right. That's why he played at Alabama and probably be at worst the number two pick in the draft. But there's all this stuff about he's fragile, he's too lean, he's too short, he's too this, he's too that. And then with C.J. Stroud, there was some other stuff about him. He's a prototypical guy. He's about 6'3", 220. But there's some kind of a test that they give these guys, some kind of a I come from an academic background, but I wouldn't call it like what was that test they used to do, the Wonderlic test, something
Yeah.
stupid like that. Well, there's some tests that they give them now that test their reaction time. It's a verbal thing, a cognitive test, and he did very poorly on this apparently. So now teams are thinking that perhaps he can't make decisions fast enough. But we most of us all watched that semifinal playoff game with Ohio State and Georgia, and even though Zach and I think that Georgia didn't play their best that night, C.J. Stroud was a man out there. He was awesome.
Yeah. I think all the silly tests and the combine and all that. I think it's really stupid because it doesn't determine if you can play or not. You can go out there and run in your underwear and skin shirt if you want. Doesn't mean you're good at football. It doesn't. You're not good at quarterback if you have a good vertical jump or all this silly stuff. It doesn't matter. And taking these tests, dude, they shouldn't have to do all this. They should say, you know what? This guy put it on tape in college, and that's why we're going to draft him. We're not going to draft him because he passed a cognitive test. That's not what it's about. It's about they can produce on the field. All this stuff, it's kind of like um, just something to talk about and complain about up until the draft. It really doesn't mean anything. It's all silliness, and I think they should only be um, judged by what they did in between the white lines and not all the outside crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's good the thing that you mentioned that because let's think about that for just a second. Where we are this time of year, the baseball season is about a month in. We're right in the middle of the NBA playoffs. Okay, and the NHL playoffs are going on right now. But the biggest story by far is the NFL draft. And that's not just because it's tomorrow. That's been the last month. Hell, it's actually been since the week after the Super Bowl, if you want to think about it, because that's when they first started talking about how guys like Bryce Young was too small. And then this guy from Florida, quarterback Anthony Richardson, who he's kind of like Hulk Hogan in his 80s heyday out there, meets the eye test, can throw the ball a mile, incredible athleticism, 4.40. He can run like the wind. But what did he show at Florida?
Nothing. The dude, I mean, he's way better than I am at football, but I mean, the guy never really opened your eyes or anything in college. He had a cool play against Utah in week 1. He had some long runs and stuff, but
Hey, I had a long run against Utah. Okay,
oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know about
it's
that.
what's the difference?
But I mean, the guy, he just has bust written all over him. And that guy, he's not going to do well in the NFL. He might have some cool plays here and there, but I mean, dude, it happens every year. They have these weird guys that they push. It's like they get planted by the sports media and say, this guy's going to be so good. Like Zach Wilson was. Zach
Oh
Wilson,
gosh,
Josh Rosen, that Georgia dude that got picked last year. I haven't heard from him ever since the draft. It's weird how this happens every year. Like
yeah,
you can just tell when guys you're a little bit skeptical about them. It's probably for a good reason.
yeah. I mean, did they produce? Uh, did they not produce? I mean, I'm a fan of Anthony Richardson, the Florida quarterback, and I hope that he does well. Honestly, whatever the case is tomorrow, he's almost certainly going to be a first round pick and probably a top 10 pick because of his measurables. You would like to think that a guy like him might get picked up by a team like Seattle that has an incumbent quarterback where he can set behind him for a year or two. But that's not necessarily how things work in the NFL these days. They expect these first round draft picks to go out there and produce right away. And that guy, he kind of has that Jamarcus Russell vibe. I know I'm going back in town in time here, about 15 years, but this LSU quarterback, national champion LSU quarterback, but the stuff they were talking about, like he could sit on his ass and throw the ball 60 yards. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
really cool, but that doesn't win you football games.
no, it doesn't matter that you're 6'4" and you run this fast and you can throw 50 yards against no defense. Who cares? Go watch
Yeah.
the tape. Um, yeah, he's got bust written all over him. He really does.
Now there's another guy, the Kentucky Wildcats quarterback, Will Levis,
Oh gosh, yeah, that's
and
a bust too.
I mean, he's got those measurables like Anthony Richardson does, but it's kind of hard to tell because you go back and you watch games with him. We played in Kentucky. Now, keep in mind, he was going against LSU, Alabama. I don't know if they played Georgia or not, but they're going against these guys who were at the snap of the ball. They were in the backfield and he was running for his life. But because of his measurables, he's got a cannon forward arm. Big guy, likes to run. He's also the potential top 5 pick. So, yeah, this is nuts. You know?
Yeah, I think him and Richardson are in the same boat. I think uh, I think Levis is worse. He's not gonna be anything. I really don't think he will. I think Richardson has potential to make some plays here and there, but the Levis guy, man, I don't know. He's every single year, and we'll see it next year and the year after, and it'll continue. But there's always one or two quarterbacks that you're kind of scratching your head about to why they're getting the buzz for the first round. And that Kentucky guy, oh man, yeah, I don't have a good feeling about that guy. I don't know if I have a good feeling about any of the quarterbacks, but definitely not Levis from Kentucky. I think he's bound to burn in the NFL.
Well, let's, since we're talking about the draft, let's go back in time, not too far, okay, but just a little bit. Some of the number one picks we've had recently. How about Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville? He got his butt kicked his first year, second year last year. Dude was really good.
Yeah, you have guys like that, and um, Jalen Hurts kind of dude, and
Jalen Hurts was a second round draft pick. Remember
yeah,
that?
and uh, Josh Allen, guys like that. But then you got to look at Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen, and
Even Baker.
yeah, Baker hasn't panned out that well either.
Yeah.
And even guys like Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, he's really not that good. I don't know why they threw all that money at him, but
Well, because
he got paid.
He's an average quarterback.
Yeah, that's all it takes nowadays.
An average quarterback can make $35 to $40 billion a year.
It's crazy how centered everything is on the quarterback now, but yeah, there's just a lot of bust potential there with these top guys getting all the love. Um, Looking at other guys, I think will probably get drafted. The Alabama, uh, edge rusher.
Yeah, Will Anderson.
Yeah, that dude. I think he'll translate well to the NFL. The Iowa State safety dude. I think he's a safety. He's either a safety or linebacker. He'll be good. There's some O linemen in there. Ohio State had like a stud.
Paris, what's his face? Yeah, big old 340-pound guy.
Yeah. Bijan Robinson, the Horns running back.
Let's talk about him for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, Zach and I are card-carrying members of the Horns Down Club here, as we do not like the Texas Longhorns. But total respect to Bijan Robinson. That guy is incredible. He's torn up everybody he played against the last 3 years, and it's interesting because if this was 2009, he would be in the running for a number one pick, absolutely no doubt. But because in this day and age, teams are getting great production from undrafted free agents or 6th and 7th round draft picks, there's really no reason to put aside big money for running backs or to spend high draft picks on them.
Well, yeah, they don't last. Everyone's really gotten so good on defense. The defensive ends and linebackers, they're freaks of nature, And running back, you're running into the teeth of those guys every play. You're not going to last. But that Robinson kid, he's really good. I think it might take him a year or so to kind of adjust, but after that, I think he has 3 or 4 or 5 good years in him to really be a kind of a premier running back guy in the NFL.
Yeah, one of the things that a lot of the experts have been talking about with him is his receiving ability, like slot receiver ability, coming out of the backfield. And there's no telling who's going to pick him up. I'm not an NFL GM. I think it'd be fun to play one tomorrow. Hey, I could do like Kevin Costner did in the movie Draft Day. I could do that.
Yeah.
For a team other than the Cleveland Browns, but I think I could do that for a day. But with him, with Bijan Robinson, the thing is, when you draft a guy, okay, if you spend a first round draft pick on him, you're thinking, okay, this guy is going to be a starter for me for 3 years. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to get into economics of NFL contracts and stuff, but once you get to a third year mark, you could pick up what they call these fifth-year options on players, where you have
Hmm.
to pay them a pretty penny, but you don't have to give them some massive $100 million contract. So why not pick a guy like that in the first round who might be able to get you 1,200 yards on the ground, another 500 receiving, and 12 touchdowns for 3 years?
Yeah,
Is it,
I
isn't
mean,
that worth the first round draft pick?
100%. And whoever gets that guy, they're not going to ever regret that draft choice. I think he'll definitely pan out well. Um, but also, you got to be careful because it's hard to really determine if they'll be able to last or not. A lot of guys don't. Um, I don't know too much. The receiver class is kind of dry. They got the USC dude. He didn't really do as much after he left Pitt. Uh, the TCU guy, super tall, just dunked on everybody last year. I'm looking here. Jahmyr Gibbs. That's probably my second running back that I like. Um, Talking about film, still that guy, he was just so much better than everybody. He was at one point, I think he was the leading receiver for Alabama, just out of the backfield. Like him a lot.
Freak athlete.
That guy is so good.
Yeah.
You just make anybody miss. There's some. It's more defensive heavy in this draft, and that's not as exciting for some people, but I think it is because we come from a team that doesn't really play a lot of defense. So I kind of appreciate good defense. Um,
How about Jalen Carter from Georgia, defensive tackle?
he's gonna be just like the Trayvon Walker guy, I think. Um, he might, he's gonna make some money for sure. He's gonna go out there, probably get 30 tackles, 40 tackles or something, but he's not gonna be some all pro star kind of dude.
Yeah, defensive
Um,
tackles in the NFL. I mean, unless your name is Aaron Donald for the Rams or Chris Jones for the Chiefs, you don't get the gaudy stats and the glory. But if you can eat up offensive linemen and just kind of destroy the middle of the line, that's where you make your money. The sexy picks are outside, and that dude from TC or not TCU for Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson, he's a stud.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah, he's edge rusher. Uh, a lot of guys are saying that he is better than Will Anderson. Tough call
Yeah,
there. Will Anderson, he was playing on a defense that has probably six other guys that are going to get drafted, whereas I don't
yeah.
think Texas Tech has ever played defense, at least not in my life. But
Um,
that guy's a top 10 pick.
you talked about Alabama and six other dudes. I remember watching the um, K-State game, the Sugar Bowl. Number 14, Brian Branch. I think I
Mm.
texted you during that game. I said 14 just made millions of dollars today. Um,
Yeah, I think he's
that
a fringe first round guy.
yeah, wherever he goes, he'll definitely have a big impact there. That guy can play.
Yeah,
Um,
Georgia's got another guy on the edge, Nolan Smith, who's probably going to be another top 10 or 15 pick. Um, he's fast, ran a 4.39 40, and going back to this stuff, I mean, does it really matter how freaking fast you are if it's 4.39 or 4.4? To our millions of listeners and Zach and I, it might not mean a whole lot, but if you're an NFL talent evaluator and a general manager making moves, that could be the difference between like a fifth pick and a 25th pick, which could be millions and millions of dollars. It's crazy.
um, only running back we really talked about is Bijan and Gibbs, but fella from Pitt, he's a really weird last name, but Israel Abanaconda, something like that. Big like power back kind of dude, and that typically translates pretty well to the NFL. Guys, uh, kind of like Derrick Henry, Samaje P. Ryan kind of dude. I think he'll do well. Um, I think it's more interesting once you get past all the glamour shot dudes in the first round, because the ballers are the dudes that are in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth round. Um,
Yeah.
just trying to go through here, look at some names. I mean, offensive linemen, there's going to be some studs that come out of. I think, yeah, I said it was more defensive heavy, but there's definitely interior guys in this draft that are really good from all over the country. Um, oh, okay. This might be one of the last big ones that I talk about. He's kind of a sleeper guy. You probably remember him, Overshown from Texas. I think he was number one. He was the dude that had like 20 wristbands on his arms and
Yeah, I
stuff.
remember that dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks very goofy on the field, but that guy can play, man. That guy is out of a cannon. Really good run stopping dude. He's good for a couple years in the NFL, I think. I like that pick. I don't like Texas, but that guy can play.
And Texas has some dudes this year, and they had another guy who might actually be a first round talent. Johnson is his last name. I can't think of his first
Roshan,
name. Yeah,
Roshan Johnson. Yeah.
Roshan Johnson. That's the guy. Burner out there. He didn't carry the rock a whole lot at Texas because Bijan Robinson, but that guy, he could be a player in the NFL. Somebody's going to get a steal with him.
He is kind of, I think it'll turn out to be like a Bengals kind of dude that um he's gonna lead them into the playoffs. Like he'll end up on the Bengals or Bills or something. He'll play kind of like the Pacheco guy for the Chiefs. Like
Mm.
he'll make those big plays, or the James White from the Patriots. I think he'll be one of those kind of players.
Hey
That
man, James White won what, 3 Super Bowls?
yeah,
Yeah,
he'll be that guy that you get for the playoffs,
yeah.
and he's gonna make plays for you.
One other guy I got my eye on, another Georgia guy. It's incredible the guys that they've had. Quarterback Haley Ringo.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely a mid to late first round pick, and something about this guy, he's one of those ultimate boomer bust. He'll make these incredible plays, and then he'll totally take a dump the next time out. But
Mm-hmm.
he's a star in making. Um,
I
just
think
a great player out there.
uh I'll end on this. I don't, we don't know how it'll turn out, but um, I'm gonna give some love to some tight ends here because I was a tight end. Um, Braden Willis, Oklahoma's own. He might get picked in like the sixth round or something, but that guy is gonna make some head coach really happy with what he does. Just a great team guy. I think there was some like Notre Dame tight end or something that's supposed to be a stud too.
Yeah, Notre
Um,
Dame and Michigan have stud tight ends. I can't think of who they are, but both of them
yeah.
might be late first round picks.
So these are the guys that win you the games in December and January. They make the big catches. They have those blocks that you don't ever think of. You just look at the running back running around, or the quarterback has 10 seconds to throw it, and these dudes are holding off the edge. So I like to, shout those guys out, and they're always playmakers, man.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, one of the best players in the league is Travis Kelce. No one can
yeah,
guard that guy.
yeah. I was
You know?
going to say that in recent years, there's been such a huge emphasis on tight ends. Travis Kelsey, arguably the best tight end of all time. But then you got guys go back just a little bit. We think he's completely retired, but Gronk, of course. You got Kittles in
Kittle,
San Fran. Kittle,
yeah.
yeah. And you got
Uh,
Waller. Waller got
Waller.
traded.
I can't
I
remember
can't,
where.
yeah.
Yeah,
But these tight ends, these guys make the plays in the playoffs and they help you win Super Bowls. So um, everybody's looking for the next Kelsey, that's for sure.
yeah. I think there's just the effort, guys, and you watch them play. That's why I it's kind of funny talking about Texas, how much I don't like them. But if you sit down and watch certain guys, you just see their motor just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I think it was Joseph Osai or
Mhm.
Osai. You remember that guy?
Yeah, I
You
remember
just
him. Yeah.
watch certain guys and they're just so disruptive or they're so impactful, and you just know it's going to transfer to the next level. So
Yeah. We're down to about 5 minutes on our show here. I want to give my pick, and then we'll want to pivot over to the a couple quarterbacks that made a lot of news the last couple of weeks. I'm going to take Bryce Young at number one. I'm going with chalk here, and I tell you honestly, I think that he's number one with Carolina. I think C.J. Stroud. I think Will Levis and Anthony Richardson are all going to be in the top 10. And don't be surprised if Tennessee's Hendon Hooker, who's like 36 years old, coming off of ACL surgery, don't be surprised if he gets picked up at the tail end of the first round either.
yeah, we talk about film, man. That guy's put everything on film he could want. The only thing and the only reason he's not getting that buzz is because he went down late in the year.
Yeah,
If he was fully healthy, he'd be up there with Bryce Young.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a few minutes left here. I want to just, we touched a little bit on Jalen Hurts, second round draft pick. Just incredible story out of Alabama, transferred to Oklahoma, had a hell of a year there, literally put the team on his back. I've argued that he should have a statue there, but he came in second in the Heisman voting, so he won't have a statue. But second round draft pick, just kind of a tough rookie year, made a lot of strides the second year, freaking star last year. Uh, I don't think anybody's worth $50 million in the NFL, but he definitely earned his money the hard way.
I agree. Hurts so good.
Yes,
Hurts so
sir.
good.
All right. So anyway, the big news in the NFL here the last few days has been the continuing saga of 140-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who after what seems like an entire decade of speculation and off-season nonsense has actually become a New York freaking football jet now.
I just think it's weird. At least for me, because all the guys I grew up watching are gone now. Breeze is gone, Rivers is gone, Manning's gone, and Brady's gone, but Aaron Rodgers is still there. And it was just weird for me watching Brady leave. It doesn't seem right watching these guys in different uniforms when they've been with the same team forever.
Yeah.
But I have no expectation for him with the Jets. I don't know. He might be MVP guy. He might take a dump. You just don't know.
Yeah, the thing with Aaron Rodgers that unfortunately the NFL is so big, you always hear about it. What's he doing? He's going to a darkness retreat. He's going to Peru for a month. He's doing all this. He's not doing that. But wait a minute. He's on a new team. Isn't he supposed to be out there throwing the ball with his new teammates? Well, everybody does their stuff different. And Rodgers won a Super Bowl. He's won 4 MVP trophies. It's kind of hard to say that he's going to suck out there. Father Time eventually gets everybody. He even got Tom Brady there at the end a little bit. At his best, at minimum, Aaron Rodgers makes the Jets a AFC East contending team, I believe. Probably be better than they were last year. I'm not a fan of anybody in that division, but it's going to be interesting to watch. I kind of hope that he falls on his face, though.
I don't know. I could care less. I think they'll make the playoffs, but that might be it. They might lose first round or something like that. But
look at all the quarterbacks in the AFC, though. Man, Mahomes, Allen, freaking Herbert, Rodgers now. Maybe Lamar Jackson, maybe not. Hard to say. Russell Wilson.
Wilson sucks.
He sucked last year. Yeah, he sucked last year.
Yeah, you're only as good as your last game. He sucks.
Yeah, but I tell you, it's going to be something. It's going to be fun to watch. About to close it up here. Going back to the draft tomorrow. Just I like to see trades and crazy stuff, and some GM try to pull something crazy. We'll see. I do expect 4 quarterbacks in the top 10, but hey, we'll see tomorrow, and then throughout the weekend. I guess the round one's tomorrow, round two's Friday, and then I don't know if the whole rest of it's Saturday or they spread it out over the weekend. Don't really care. I'm sure some of our many fans will be watching the whole darn thing, so I hope you enjoy it. So
I'm not watching it.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, there'll probably be some new Netflix show on, but let's wrap it up here. Jaws on Sports. We're back to our regular episode. Next week we'll be talking about the NBA playoffs and maybe touch on what happened in the draft. I'm gonna try to convince Zach to try the garlic sauce, so he finally learns what the heck is going on.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man.
All right, probably not gonna happen. Well, hey, I'm Mike. There's Zach. This is Jaws on Sports. We hope to see you next time. Like and subscribe. Have a good day. And hey, make your bets. Bryce Young, #1 tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.